It happened in Canada, and yes, it's a true story, a tale wrapped in rain, mystery, and something far more precious than gold. A young woman named Emma, determined and quietly strong, was working long hours at a cozy little cafe. She wasn't just brewing coffee, she was holding up her family, one shift at a time. On one particular rainy afternoon, as the gray clouds swept over the town and the cafe lights flickered with the promise of closing time, something, or rather, someone, unexpected arrived. A woman. Elderly. Drenched to the bone. Her eyes held years of stories, and her voice, though soft, carried urgency that cut through the drizzle. "Please," she beckoned. No name, no explanation. Just a plea. Emma, hesitant but moved, wrapped herself in her coat and followed. They walked in silence, her footsteps echoing against the narrow, wet streets, until they reached a small house, unremarkable on the outside, but surrounded by a lovingly kept garden that whispered of care and forgotten summers. Without a word of context, the old woman gestured. "Wait here," she said, pointing to the porch, her tone clipped and strangely hollow. Emma stood still, uncertain, watching through the window as the woman disappeared inside. She moved slowly, methodically, sifting through old books, handling trinkets as if they were sacred, pausing now and then at photographs that surely held entire lifetimes. And then, something curious. The woman approached a chest. Dusty, wooden, nearly hidden in the corner. Her hands reached for it, then stopped. A glance over her shoulder. Deliberate silence. She slid it under the bed, as if hiding treasure, or a secret. When she returned, she handed Emma a bag, light, filled with odd little items. "This is for you," she said, almost dismissively. Then came an envelope, pressed into Emma's palm. "A little something for your time." And with a tight, almost forced smile, she turned away. Back in her modest apartment, Emma opened the envelope. A few coins clinked inside. Nothing more. A wave of confusion and disappointment swept over her. All of that for this, but then, her fingers touched something else, hidden deep in the bottom of the bag. A small, ornate box, its craftsmanship delicate, almost regal. She opened it. Inside, nestled like sleeping stars, was a collection of jewelry, vintage, rare, dazzling. Worth more than Emma had ever seen in her life. Her breath caught, but fate wasn't finished. The next day, a knock at the cafe door. The old woman again, but not alone. With her was a younger woman, pale with panic. "Where's the chest?" she demanded. It held Grandma's heirlooms. The older woman paled as realization dawned. Together, they'd come searching for Emma, door to door, heart in throat. Emma listened. Quiet. Calm. Then, without a word, she reached into her bag and returned the box, its contents untouched. "I figured it might mean more to you than it does to me," she said softly. The younger woman choked back tears. "You could have kept it. Why give it back?" Emma simply smiled. "Because trust is worth more than treasure." From that day forward, Emma wasn't just the girl at the cafe. She was something more, a friend, a soul remembered, someone who chose honesty when no one was looking. And though her pockets remained empty, her life began to fill with things that money could never be. Why did so remember this? The right choice doesn't always pay in coins or gold. Sometimes, it pays in something far more lasting.